shares you about the character and the tale of Square. Square is known to be the son of the knight. So, the Squire is a young knight in training, a member of the noble class. He assists to his father, the knight, in his works, and he is opposite to his father. He is not good at chivalry, but he is a very best man in riding horse. And also, he is not quite as perfect as his father, the knight, as he wears fine clothes and is vain about his appearance. He is well trained both in arts of battle and the arts of courtly love. He is always surrounded by women, and he had a flute with him, which he plays in his leisure time, as well as he composed the song with his flute. Squire is one of the most youthful character in the Canterbury Tales. He is so pretty and good in appearance. He is in his age of 20s. Chaucer tells that he rides a horse well, can joust well, and he carves the meat for the knight while at dinner. About his clothing, he wears a pretty dress weaved with flower embroideries, like a meadow full of red and white flowers. Chaucer spends a lot more time talking about how well the squire can dance, sing, write poetry, and most importantly, indulge in serious crushes than he does about the squire's prowess on the battlefield. From his portrait, we end with the impression that the squire is a teenager, a bit of a pretty boy, and prone to serious infatuations that keep him up all night. Squire is a young man filled with various talents like joust, dance, draw, and write well. Squire is so passionately in love that he sleeps no more than a nightingale. He is always courteous, humble, and modest, straight opposite to his father, the knight. He is most loved by young girls and women, but he is not a womanizer. Despite every woman loves to be with Squire. The appearance of the Squire, he has a curled hair and though only of moderate height, is morally able. He has taken part in chivalric expeditions in Flanders and northern France. He is very good in riding horse. Squire is also a bold young man that Chaucer describes him in a sentence which means he is as fresh as the month of May, which describes he is too young and an enthusiastic person in the pilgrimage. Now we shall enter into the tale narrated by Squire in the pilgrimage. Before that, the Squire's tale is an incomplete one because some of the introverts has stopped him from narrating his tale, so he said Chaucer that he would continue his tale afterwards, but finally his tale is remained incomplete throughout the whole Canterbury Tales. Narrates the tale of a king called Cambuscan of Sarai in Tartary. With his wife Alfeta, he had two sons, Algasef and Cambola, along with a daughter named Canas. In the opening of the story, the whole kingdom is celebrating the 20th year of the reign of the king Cambuscan. So his subjects celebrated his nativity. During the fest with the king and his knights, a new strange knight came into the hall on a brass horse, carrying a board of mirror made of glass, wearing a gold ring on his thumb, and carrying a naked sword by his side. Knight's arrival is a shock to everyone that he is not invited by any of them in the kingdom. And this knight saluted the king and the queen and all the lords in a noble way of manners. Manners and behaviors is a new one that is not compared to any of other knights in the kingdom. He is a knight who has been sent from the king of Arabia and India to bring Cambuscan a steed of brass that could within 24 hours transport a person safely anywhere on the globe. He also presented to Canis a mirror that foresees impending mishaps and could determine the character of friends and foes, and also a ring that enabled the wearer to understand the language of any bird and a great healing power. The horse he presented looked that of more like Trojan horse, and none of the people in the place knew how to move the brass horse. Finally, the knight also gave them a sword which even tear out a armor and also has a healing power at its end, which is blunt and sharp. Surprisingly, the knight left the place without any mess to stay, and after the revelry of the night before, the next morning everybody but Candace remained asleep until late. She had dreamt of the mirror and the ring, and thus had her first satisfying rest in a very long time. Out walking that morning with her mates, she came across a bleeding falcon which has wounded by itself. Candace picked up the falcon and spoke to it, a power she had gained from the ring the knight had given her. The falcon told her a tale of a handsome tercelet, as treasonous and false as he was beautiful, who fell in love with the kite as well as with the falcon, and left the falcon to love the kite. The falcon has been cheated in love, and so it traveled around the world without having food or drinking water. It felt so fainted, and now it wounded itself to death. Hearing the story, Candace felt heart melted towards the falcon, and she took the bird in her hand and healed with herbs which she dug out of the ground and carried to a box covered in blue velvet with a painted meadow inside it, which she laid by her bedside. The story of SQUIRE ends here, and he accepts that he will return to the story of the ring, the falcon and its love, and also Cambola, the king's first son. First, the narrator says that he will tell Cambuscan and how he won his cities, and after that of Algarcef and how he won his wife. So here the squire ends his tale incomplete to the audience. Despite the story of SQUIRE gets incomplete, all the audience appreciate for his stories that it is full of fantasy, love and magic. So this is a story narrated by SQUIRE in the Canterbury Tales, and this is the end. Thank you so much guys for listening to my video. So stay tuned with me, Damz, and see you guys in my next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.